All right, how's everybody doing? We are now at the happiest place on earth, the Apple Store. Joe, are you excited to be at the Apple Store for the first time?
I love being at the Apple Store.
Look how shiny and bright it is.
It is. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
They're losers.
If you go one store up, you go to the Microsoft store. Nobody in there. We're here early, as you can see. There's nobody in here either, actually, technically.
Well, no, there's
We're here
not.
a little early at the mall, and people will be setting up in here just about any time.
They will be, because they'll all be coming in with all the problems that they've had with their janky Apple device.
So let's get started with the topic of the day right now. So on our Facebook page, just for a couple hours, we put up a poll because Joe and I don't see eye to eye on this subject, apparently.
Actually, Joe doesn't give a rat's.
Joe doesn't really care. I know Joe doesn't care, but we like poking each other.
But it
about
is
this,
fun,
so.
yes.
I carry an iPhone. Joe carries he carries a new Android device. What is that anyway?
It's a S10.
Galaxy S10,
Yes.
Samsung. It's held up for him very well. He had it for about almost 24 hours before he shattered
I believe it was about 16 hours.
Yeah, you want to show everybody your beautiful screen there?
I don't know. Can they see this? It's yeah. I did that. Well, the police did it.
Wait a minute! Don't be screaming police brutality.
They were chasing me.
Whatever.
All right.
Okay, so basically what happened is we had talked about this jailbreak fundraiser for quite some time, and it was last Thursday, just a few days ago. Went off very well. It was very successful. Brought in a lot of money for a couple great causes for our town and community.
And you're still tired.
I'm still exhausted. This was my first
day off. There's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's my first day off. I actually took a day and tomorrow off to try and rest up a little bit.
Lee and his wife Sarah did a ton of work for all this. And what, you got there at 6:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
And you were there till 9 o'clock at night?
Right.
But that's just the day.
Right.
And then there was all the preparation beforehand. It was, everybody helped out, everyone chipped in, but not like Lee and Sarah did. So thank you, Lee and Sarah. That was really great.
It's our honor to do it. And hey, Max. Now the cats are gone, and now I've got Joe's damn dog. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is our second year doing it, and it's a lot of work. It
was more work this year than last.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was. We had a harder time getting people committed to do it this year, but everybody seemed to have a good time when they did it. But anyway, going back to why we're at the Apple Store today, Joe finally upgraded that brick that we'd advertised a couple times on our Facebook page to the shiny new Galaxy S10, and when he decided to run from us during his skit, during the jailbreak, he took a little bit of a tumble, and his phone did not survive.
No, I landed right on the phone. One phone, elbow.
And
it was
got a pretty gnarly bruise coming in there in his elbow and
day.
arm. I think you tore your suit jacket too.
I did.
This guy owns a suit jacket.
I have a whole closet of them.
He was waiting outside for me outside City Hall when I was out running around getting somebody else, and I drove right past him, didn't recognize him. Had his hair slicked back. He had some nice spectacles on. Suit. It was crazy. Blue jeans. He owned something besides jeans or sweats.
I would have wore suit pants, but none of them fit.
So Joe looked pretty good, man. I believe somebody, Nick Parkman, was in there. He said you look pretty, or you had a pretty mouth, or something like that when you walked in. You remember?
Yeah,
that?
I could hear now. Frightened me just a little bit. He's a big guy.
Hey, but Nick's a big guy.
I hid behind Darren.
Yeah. Nick was in there for a while, man.
I thought he was still there.
He technically he probably should be, but we had to go home, man.
That was the 9 o'clock thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
he raised a lot, though, didn't he?
He did. He's gonna end up being our top fundraiser. He brought in a lot of cash. So
good for him.
Anyway, we had a great time with it. The community support was awesome again. So, but anyway, going back to the phone thing. It just started this morning again for some reason. Somebody was talking crap about somebody else's phone, and so I decided to throw a poll up there, and clearly your side won. Android, it was only, like I said, it was only for a couple hours. Android, your choice was which phone service, or which phone do you prefer, an Android device or an Apple iPhone, and Android won 60% to 40%.
Yeah.
So you have anything to say about that?
Well, I'm trying to guess where you're going to go with this. Since you started out with this, I'm thinking, okay, so he's probably thinking all the Android people are unemployed anyway, so they had time to look at their phones and vote for it. Was that one of them?
That's a very good guess. That was one of them I was going to go with.
Okay. we're all mentally challenged and weren't even sure which way
obviously.
to. Obviously, so that could have been one of them.
Okay, so here, there's people that are really passionate about this iPhone,
and I don't know
Android,
why.
right? And I like to get, my mom and stepdad are big Android people, and my dad is an Android guy.
Okay.
And now, with that being said, my stepdad, he understands technology. He's really into it. He can do a lot of things with computers, and he's created programs for computer programs. He's created I'm not even sure what I'm looking, but he's created, like, do you know what the Alexa is, right? The Amazon Alexa?
Yeah.
He's created smart home skills for that, even, that's
really?
been published to Alexa.
Okay, so he knows his stuff.
He's very good about coding and stuff like that.
And he likes Android.
But he's an Android guy, so.
You say, but he's an Android guy.
Well,
like, in spite of the fact that he can do all this stuff.
He's very smart. He's very smart.
But
he's into the open. So Android thing is, and somebody's mentioned that on, I believe our post or one of our posts or something, where Android's open source. So, and I know that means nothing to you, but open source software means it's not exclusive to one platform. So Apple software is strictly Apple. Nobody else can publish anything. They can't write any programs for it without it being approved by Apple.
Okay.
So Android is available on. It's not just a Samsung Galaxy. It's available on Google Pixel and the million other types of smartphones that run the Android software. So
okay, so the
my
updates
big thing
are going to be a little bit better than
right. So like the big thing when President Obama was in office, of course people were making a lot of fun of it, was the Obama phone, right? So you see these people standing in tents in the Kroger parking lot, and to get their free smartphone, and they get a handful of minutes every month and a handful of text messages every month. These Obama phones, they're smartphones technically. They run the Android operating system. Okay. So when you see that. And I'm not bashing Android.
Okay, so that was probably another place you were going to go with.
Well, what I'm saying is yes, Apple's their ecosystem it's expensive, right? I mean, we've got an iPad for this. We're recording this on an iPhone as we speak right now. Right. But to me, you get what you pay for, and I've had an Android before. I didn't care for it, but that's me. You're comfortable with an Android. My parents are comfortable with Android. And I'll tell you what,
I have iPads. I have 2 iPads.
Yeah. So Joe's both. He's not snotty about it.
No,
we just like to bust each other's chops about it.
Exactly. So. But I do find I do better with the split screen on Android, and I need the split screen for business. It's nice to have a calculator on one and another, and I can do things a little easier. And it's a little harder with the Apple.
And some people don't understand, like this. The iPad, for instance, now you can't do it on the phone. I don't believe yet. Well, I know you can't yet, but on the iPad, you can have split screen.
Right, and I've used it.
Right,
but it's
harder for you, some way.
And I've used it a lot. You'd think I'd be more comfortable with it, but I'm not. I still
and everybody's different, so
right. And I'm an idiot.
but in any and again, Sarah, my wife, just saw an advertisement. I can't remember who it was. It was Best Buy or Target or somebody that was offering if you bought the latest and greatest. Is that the newest Android, the S10?
S10 Plus or something like that is. I didn't get that.
Okay, so, but anyway, Joe's got one of the newer phones. And they were, one of these places, Best Buy, like I said, Best Buy, Target, whatever it was advertising, if you bought the latest and greatest Samsung Galaxy, whatever, they would give you for free a 50-some inch flat screen TV, a Samsung.
It was almost like a bribe.
Right, and this is what cracks me up, is this is not the first time I've heard or seen of this, where Samsung, it's like they're giving away the TVs and radios and different things to get you to buy their cell phone. And it's crazy to me because a 55-inch TV,
I wish I'd have known
it's not cheap, right. This was like, she told me this the day after you got your phone, I think.
Shit.
So, I mean, maybe you could go back and say, hey.
Well, my screen's broken. Yeah. What the hell is this?
So, and you don't see that stuff with Apple. It's, yeah, you pay out the butt for it, but I have never, and I know that there's people out there, oh, I hated my Apple iPhone. Okay.
My daughter, my daughter got an Apple, and she couldn't stand it, but she always had Androids before. Right. It is harder. It is harder to get used to it, but it's like everything else. You get used to it. Right. Like every time you get an upgraded phone, it sucks. It sucks at first because you're going, oh shit, I always did it like this, and now I have to do it like this, and you get mad because it's different, but it's just different. It's not better or worse, or it's supposed to be better.
So the one thing I didn't know, my in-laws are on our family plan, Sarah and I's plan, and she had been Android forever. That's what she was comfortable with. We used to give her a hard time because almost my wife's entire family was iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they initially went on our plan, she'd always been Android, and stuck with it when she got upgraded her phone to whatever it is she got several years ago. My father-in-law actually had an iPhone, and then he doesn't care about technology at all.
Mm-hmm.
So when she upgraded his phone, she got him an Android, and he didn't
He didn't care. Right.
But anyway, this last time when they were due for an upgrade, it was just this last year. She decided to take the leap to get an iPhone. The main reason behind it was, if I say FaceTime, do you know what that is? That's the video chat, right?
Right.
So, one of our listeners is anti-FaceTime because it's strictly for Apple people. So,
oh boy.
but one of the benefits of FaceTime was one of my brother-in-laws. He's in the military, and he got deployed overseas somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and he was also he was like, him and my mother-in-law were the last two standing with Android devices, and anyway, they both switched to that because of the FaceTime feature, because he can connect to Wi-Fi and see, he can see his family while he's gone, which it's great.
Right.
So anyway, they both have kind of grown into really liking the iPhone and the features. It's taken some time to get used to some stuff, but
of course,
this funny story to us when we took her to the cell phone store to change out her device, get the new device. She got I think she got the XS Max, which was the newest phone last year for Apple, and I didn't know this existed on Androids, and I about lost it. But the gentleman helping us, he's a friend of Sarah's and I, said she had I forget what it's called, but it was like easy mode or simple mode enabled on the Android. And she goes, well, what's that? And I'd never heard of it. I didn't know what it was. But basically, he said that, and the way he put it was really funny. He goes, well, most older people have it enabled because it makes the phone easier to use. So he's like digging through the settings to get it back to what I guess normal people would use their Android phone for. But and then it did, the interface looked different and everything when he did it. So it was pretty funny. So maybe the simple mode's enabled on yours and you don't know. Who knows?
It would make sense. Now, Android has something. It's not FaceTime. It's called something else. But
they have, and I don't know if it's built into the phone or not. Like I said, one of our users was talking about Google Duo. I've had that on my phone for a while now because that's the only way I can. Well, it's not the only way to video chat. There's a million apps out there to video chat with people.
Right.
You can a lot of people, vast majority of people use Facebook Messenger. There's a video. You can video chat people on there.
That.
You can video chat through Snapchat, through Instagram, Tango. There's a million out there, but
I'm not a big
video chat person.
No, because look,
yeah,
is this what you want to see? Do you want to wake up in the morning and see this face talking to you? I don't think so.
But anyway, there's a million ways out there to do it. It is what it is. Skype obviously was probably one of the pioneer in video chatting years ago through your computer. So there's all kinds of different ways to do it. People, it's a very passionate topic. I mean, our thing was only up there for a couple hours and it got quite a few votes on it.
It did.
So.
My daughter messaged me and she said, that's a great idea, putting the polls up there to get people interacting with everything. And
right.
I said, honestly, that was all Lee. I said, I think that's almost up there with religion and politics, which we've touched on those too. So I guess it doesn't really matter, does it?
We can put up some more posts to get people talking, I guess, later. That was just something that I don't remember who poked the bear first this morning, but I thought it'd be kind of funny to put up there and see. And then
I did.
You're right. Obviously, all the Apple people were at work and they didn't see my post in time. And you Android.
I think my post actually started it because I said something this morning.
For you Obama phone users out there, your minutes are probably running out from taking the time to vote on that. So too bad for you. All right, so we've talked about this plenty long enough. Let's go ahead and get to your favorite part of the podcast.
I need to have a little thing here, Lee's phone number, and hold that up.
You can tweet him at handle. All right, so let's go ahead and get to your favorite part of the day, the news headlines that I never tell Joe what we're going to talk about because I like to get a genuine reaction out of him. So this one I just saw this morning, Joe. Man sues his parents for getting rid of his vast porn collection.
Vast what?
Pornography collection.
Oh, all right. So how old is this young man?
Out of Grand Rapids, Michigan is where the story came of. But however...
Isn't marijuana legal in Michigan?
No. Listen. An Indiana man... This story was broken out of Michigan for some reason. But an Indiana man is suing his parents for getting rid of his vast pornography collection, which he estimates is worth $29,000. $29,000 worth of porn.
Is he living at home?
The 40-year-old man last week filed a lawsuit in federal court in Michigan where he moved in with his parents following a 2016 divorce 3 years ago. And he says
Wonder why he got divorced.
when he moved out 10 months later, they delivered his things to his new home in Muncie, Indiana. Congratulations, Muncie.
Good job.
And that
Fine acquisition there.
But his 12 boxes of porno films and magazines were missing from his belongings. Parents admit they dumped the porn, which included titles such as Frisky Business and Big Bad Grannies. Have you seen either one of those? Man filed a complaint with the police, but the Ottawa County prosecutor declined to press charges. The lawsuit includes an email excerpt from the man's father who told his son, "I did you a big favor by getting rid of all that stuff." He is seeking triple financial damages and roughly for the amount of $87,000. I don't know.
Is his name on there?
I bet he's an Android user.
I want his name. I don't want to talk about him. What an asshole. Okay, that was good.
Okay.
That was good. We'll just leave that one the way it was.
Okay, so here's another amusing one. This one was, the headline is, "Guns were drawn, deputies breach woman's bathroom door to confront a Roomba." You know what a Roomba is, Joe?
We have one.
You have one. So for those of you that don't know what a Roomba is, there's a lot of versions of these out there now, but I think Roomba was the king to come to the game initially.
Right.
These are smart sweepers. So they're these little, I've only seen them in like a round shape. I don't know if they're coming in other shapes now or not, but we actually have one too at home. But these, you can control these with your smartphone, right? So there's an app you can download.
Well, I have one of the older ones, so
you use a remote control, but
right.
they come with remote controls too. But a lot of the newer ones, they have apps you can download, and you can actually, I think, set out mapping.
We had to press a button on them.
Yeah, it did. So
yeah,
we got one for Christmas. My parents got us one last year for Christmas. So basically, it connects to your home Wi-Fi, and you can actually use your phone, your smartphone, your tablet, whatever, and control it from that. You can set up a schedule for it to run the sweeper.
Right.
So like if you know Lee's coming over and you don't want him to die from all the cat dander in the house, you can actually have that thing going down here before we ever get down here. Just saying.
Just saying.
But
they're very nice.
And they work. I was really skeptical. Of course I love technology. I'm into all that nerdy stuff, but I was always kind of skeptical of these things just because they're so small, and I couldn't imagine how them picking up much hair or anything for that matter. But man, they work really well. Because you warned me before I used it, said, "Hey, you need to make sure you empty that thing after each use." And
yes.
I wasn't kidding, because that thing picks up debris like crazy.
But if you have anyone, my wife has very long hair, and she sheds worse than the cats do. And after every use, I would have to take it. I always said I was performing an operation, and I flipped it over. I'd have to take off that circular brush. That's not because it would be wound with her hair. And there's a little instrument that came with it, and I'd have to poke it through there and cut it all off, and right. it was really bad. In fact, a lot of times we won't even use it anymore because of Kathy. Yeah. We should shave her head.
Ooh, that could be a.
That would
get a lot of views.
I bet it would. I'll talk to Kathy when she comes home.
And then you're gonna have to move out to the garage.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
Okay, anyway, getting back to the story, we've kind of gotten off topic a little bit. Roombas are cool. That's basically what we're saying.
Right.
So.
And Russ had to draw his gun?
Yeah, so authorities responding to a potential burglar at a woman's home in Oregon quickly found themselves confronting a suspect with a surprisingly clean record.
Oh, boo. That was terrible.
The woman called 911 on Tuesday to report that someone was in her bathroom with the door locked and that she could see shadows moving underneath the seal of the door. Within minutes, multiple deputies from the Washington County Sheriff's Office were dispatched to the scene and surrounded the residence. Deputies could hear a rustling noise from inside the bathroom, and as they approached, according to the sheriff's office, they then called for a canine unit to assist for an apprehension.
Wait, how many police showed up?
It doesn't say how many officers were there. It just says multiple.
Okay, so let's say there were two. Mm-hmm. Why would they call for a canine unit? It's a bathroom. Mm-hmm. They get the door open. One of them has a gun. The other one's getting the door open, right?
Well,
why was...
safety, I guess. They at every department would be different. Like us, we don't even have a canine available to us at all times, right? So maybe this department, that could be their standard operating procedures where canines go first. Period. Maybe they've always got a canine. I don't know, but we don't have that. We don't have that luxury here for sure. So obviously, it's safer. People tend to, from what I've noticed over the years, is people tend to respond to dogs a little bit better than they do us.
Because a dog will bite.
Yeah.
Whereas
I mean,
you guys
I might bite every once
you
in a while,
aren't
too.
you aren't gonna shoot. Of course, you guys can tase.
Right. So everybody's different. You know, every
Right.
department has their own policies and procedures and trains of thought and how things should be done. And there's nothing wrong with that by any means. If they got a dog available, then heck yeah, send the dog in. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, deputies made verbal commands for this suspect to come out of the bathroom, but there was no response, and the rustling noise continued to intensify. So they ended up forcing their way into the bathroom with their guns drawn. When they breached the bathroom door, the deputy was quoted as saying in the sheriff's office statement and encountered a very thorough vacuuming job being done by a Roomba. Lady eventually apologized once the deputies figured out what was going on, apologized for wasting their time, and everybody lived happily ever after. So
and
the Roomba did not suffer any damage from the dog or the deputies and continued to do its job.
oh my.
So how can she not know the sound of that thing? That's my.
You can
I mean,
hear
it's very
it.
distinct sound. Yeah.
And then it's gonna go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I remember it. Maybe she hadn't had it very long and really just wasn't very familiar with the sounds.
Yeah,
That had to be it.
I don't know. That's strange to me because I don't know. Moving on to the next topic. This one I can relate to because this is my wife to a freaking T. A woman crashes car this is out of Cairo, New York. Woman crashes car after seeing a spider while driving. She is lucky to be alive after crashing her car when she saw a spider while she was driving her vehicle. Crash happened on Silver Spur Road in Cairo, New York on Wednesday. Cairo PD said the woman was out running errands when she noticed the spider in the driver's area with her and she panicked. According to KWQC station, she veered off the road and crashed into a stone wall. Damage to the front end of the car was so severe that the car ended up being totaled out. The driver suffered a leg injury as a result of the crash. You know anybody with a big fear of spiders?
Both my daughters.
So, Sarah, I believe it was sometime last year. She hates spiders. All my kids hate spiders.
I'm not a fan of spiders either, but
I'm not terrified to kill them.
I'll kill them.
Right?
Yeah.
So, we were in the car last year going somewhere, and she was in the passenger seat, and she screamed so damn loud that I think I may have peed down my leg a little bit because I was so caught off guard by it, and I swerved, and I was like deaf in the right side of my head for a couple hours, and it was because of a spider on the window. She
was it freezed on the inside?
She freaked out, man. And I actually had to pull over and open the door and get the thing out because she was spazzing out so bad. It's a spider.
It's a spider.
A spider, you know?
No, if it's a big spider. I'm not a fan of spiders, but the little ones don't bother me that much. Snakes.
I could get if a snake's in your car, you got problems.
Yeah, I'm gonna scream like a little girl if there's a snake in my car.
We live out in the countryside, so you're gonna have these ridiculous spiders. They look big and mean, but they're a big deal. You know, squash them.
Right, you're still bigger than they are.
You don't have a big tarantula problem here in Indiana, so
there hasn't been one for a while.
Yeah, so yeah, this poor lady in New York totaled her car because I can definitely see my wife doing something like that. It was
my girls would. April and Nicole, I think. Both
have they called you to their homes to kill the spiders for them?
Well, they haven't lately, but
yeah,
they used to. Yeah, Nicole used to call me. She lived over on 5th.
Daddy. All right, this one is out of Crossville, Tennessee. Police say a woman stole a Walmart scooter to drive to the local Waffle House. Hey, when you got a
she's an Android user. So from Walmart to the Waffle House.
Woman is arrested in Crossville, Tennessee after allegedly riding an electric shopping scooter from the local Walmart to the local Waffle House. Crossville PD said 45-year-old Sally Selby was charged with theft after officers pulled her over while driving in the slow lane on Main Street.
Wait, 45? Go back to her picture. Whoa.
Yeah, she's not aging well.
No.
She claims she got a cart from Walmart and was driving it to the Waffle House to get a cup of coffee. Selby told the police she had built the cart and someone had ripped the lights off of it. Walmart employees confirmed the cart belonged to them.
She said she built it.
She built it.
She built this cart. Somebody ripped the lights off. She built it.
Investigators say surveillance video showed her enter the store and began shopping with the scooter. She then exited and drove through the parking lot. The scooter was later returned to the store. I guess, when you want a cup of coffee, you want a cup of coffee.
I get it, but can she not walk?
Well, I mean, most
Maybe.
Walmarts offer coffee in there somewhere that I've seen. You can get a cup at McDonald's that's built in, or
Well,
I don't know. Sticking with, I'm gonna go ahead and stick on topic with Walmart here. We got a couple different Walmart topics this week. Have you seen? I can't remember I don't remember where I was, but Walmart now has these big monstrous things in the middle of the store, maybe towards the front of the store, where you can order. If you order something online, instead of going to customer service now, you can just go to this machine and put in your license or your debit card or something, and this machine drops out your package. You don't ever have to talk to anybody in the store. Have you seen these or heard about
that's
them?
sad. No, I've never heard about that.
So they're coming. Walmart's becoming kind of technological with this stuff. I've not used this, so I'm not going to talk like I know exactly how it works. But I did see it at a Walmart somewhere where we were not too long ago. I mean, we may have been when we were in Florida or something, but there's these huge machines, and you put in, I don't know if it's your ID or the debit card you use to purchase the item with or whatever, but I assume they send you an email or a text message once your package is ready. You just go in, scan whatever.
It's like a huge vending machine.
It is. It's like a huge vending machine, and yeah, you just get your package and go. I guess. I guess it keeps you from messing with the lines and all that stuff, but because Walmart has like 500 lanes and one of them's open usually when you go there. So.
Well, the self checkouts are all open.
Yeah. So.
I hate those.
That's another controversial topic.
Oh
People
my
are pretty
gosh,
passionate about the self checkouts because it cuts down on jobs. And
It
then,
does. And I understand they're trying to be cost effective. I get it. But I kind of like talking to the person running my stuff. I like going, like even this online stuff. I like going into the stores. I like walking around the aisles. I like talking to the people that are shopping there. I like talking to the people that are working there.
Mm-hmm.
It's an experience for me. I really enjoy it, whether we're in Peru or someplace else. And then you get that self checkout,
And a lot of times when you go to these self checkouts, whether they're at Walmart or just about everybody's got them now, right? Walmart, Target, the grocery stores, doesn't matter. But it's not uncommon when I go there for those things to be down, and even if they're not down, how many times have you gone through one of those self-checkout things and scanned something and then something didn't work?
or it doesn't.
Then the human being that's at the main counter of the self-checkout things
Right.
has to come and fix whatever went wrong. So I don't know. There's pros and cons to it, like everything else, I guess. But anyway, Walmart continuing with their technology. They now have they're testing out Walmart robot janitors that will mop floors, scan shelves, and sort items. All of this is a robot. Can you sense the rise of the machines?
It just really angers me. I don't think that's right.
I'm not gonna. This is a pretty lengthy article, but yeah, basically everything that it says. And I've seen these the cleaning the floor things. I've actually seen those. If you go into Walmart or maybe I've even seen them at Meijer. I'm not sure, but they've got these things that.
They're like
usually
Roombas, basically,
yeah, kind
right?
of like late
Okay.
night, midnight type shift stuff. If you run in there real late, you might see that these aisleways are marked off with ropes or chains or something, and then these machines are mopping the floors by themselves.
I kind of get it. I mean, it's hard to find people right now.
Yeah.
And so I guess I can see it. Right now, the economy's really good. Everyone's working. Factories are hiring. We have problems at the bakery finding people all the time, and so I see why they're doing this, but the big picture seems bad for this.
Yeah. You and I, we've talked a lot about, maybe even it was just within the last day or two, we kind of talked about, jobs in our community. We live in a smaller community, and lack of jobs, good paying jobs are, unfortunately, it's a problem that our community is faced with.
Well, see, and I don't agree with that, because it seems like a lot of the factories in this area are hiring. They're always looking for people, but you have to be able to work those hours.
Right.
And that's where the problem seems to be, is single moms or
Right.
dads,
And factory work,
it's hard.
it's hard, and it's not necessarily for everybody.
No,
And it's not
I
saying
couldn't do it.
It's not saying that the people in the community, obviously there's a revolving door there like there is anywhere else. So
Right.
we talked about different things like like even this Walmart deal. Maybe a distribution center or something might be good coming this way one day, where obviously Amazon's where it's at, right? How many people get a good portion of their shopping done on Amazon throughout the year.
You know, I just read something. Somebody, Kathleen Plotho sent this to me this morning. I actually saw it, and it said how Amazon sales are actually slowing down.
As opposed to people getting their products where?
The brick and mortar businesses. It seems like people are getting, the businesses are getting more aggressive about getting people to get into their stores. Plus, they've gotten into online stuff too.
Right.
And so,
So, I just read this. I think it was last week one day. I didn't save the article. I should have. But obviously, maybe the king of kings when it came to getting your shopping done in one place for decades was Sears, right? I mean, you could get your electronics, your tools, your clothing, your washers and dryers, everything you could get at Sears. It was a big deal to go there when you were younger and growing up. And they've kind of fallen down to the Amazons of the world, where you can get all that stuff for a fraction of the price, and you can get it delivered on your doorstep. You don't have to mess with getting a buddy with a pickup truck and going to pick up this refrigerator, and Amazon will deliver it for you.
Right.
So it's hard to beat that stuff. And if you live in bigger communities, like my mom, she lives in a bigger community, and if she orders something on Amazon, it's not uncommon for her to have it at her doorstep within a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And when I order something from Amazon, it's usually 2 days max, and sometimes I get it the next day, which is still really good for where we live, I think, because the nearest distribution center is probably an hour and a half or so away from us. So that's pretty good.
It is good.
But you keep seeing this thing where Amazon, they're testing out drone delivery, and
I heard about that.
They're testing out, and I saw a video I think towards the end of last year where they're testing out like these delivery robots, and I don't know how they work. I saw a short snippet of it, but basically it comes off this UPS looking truck type thing, but it'll be an Amazon truck.
Right.
And it's kind of freaky looking, but they come down this ramp, and then
so
they just kind of scatter through the neighborhood.
R2D2 kind of thing, and then
exactly.
I've seen that.
I mean, it'd be great for like a neighborhood like yours. These things can just go, and they somehow they navigate to the address, drop off the package, and go back to their home base. So, man, technology, it's cool and it's everywhere, but it does, I don't know. But anyway, you're right. Sears, getting back to the Sears thing, obviously a lot of Sears stores have closed. Part of Sears is Kmart. We lost our Kmart within the last month or so. There's very hardly any of those left in the country. But Sears is actually trying to make a bit of a comeback, where they had agreed to build an X amount of brick and mortar stores. But they were going to be like a fraction of the size of the normal Sears stores that you're used to, and they were going to concentrate on just certain things. They weren't going to be doing clothes and all. They were only going to sell. They were going to concentrate on a handful of things.
Okay.
They had jewelry and everything back then. So
I was thinking tools and appliances.
Right, and that's probably what it was. I can't recall, but they weren't going to have this vast thing of jewelry and clothing and the photo booth and all that stuff. So be interesting to see what they do. But at the end of the day, and I'm kind of like you. I'm not a shopaholic by any means. I would just assume. I know you enjoy going out and interacting with people.
Right.
I interact with people all the time, and I think it's overrated. And I would just.
Because of my job, it's different. I'm by myself a lot at the bakery, so I do enjoy.
But I do actually enjoy going out every once in a while, and especially like during the holidays. I don't know. I've always kind of liked going out and just people watching, even during the holidays at the mall and stuff. But the brick and mortar, they're struggling. A lot of these places that have been around for Toys R Us, my God, around for generations and generations. They went under last. I think it was last year they went under, and somebody had actually bought that name, and they're trying to figure out how to bring it back and build some brick and mortar stores for the new generation of kids growing up.
I wonder if it's just marketing.
It's hard for these people to compete, because if you go to, I don't know, say you go to, and Target's really good. I mean, they run a lot of good sales, and to me, they're almost the exception to the rule, because they've done such a good job. And Target's been around forever.
Right.
But they've done such a good job of refreshing their product and staying current.
Right.
As opposed to like the Sears and the Kmarts that kind of fell behind the times.
Well, I think the big thing is, okay, you have a big store. You're paying rent, you're paying utilities, you're paying property taxes, you're paying for all of your employees, you're paying for your counter help, you're paying for the people to clean, you're paying for the people to stock the shelves. And you've got to incorporate all that into the cost of your product. And whereas if you order from Amazon, you got people stocking shelves, but you don't have all the costs that you would have with. So I get it; they're going to be more expensive, but I would rather spend a little bit more. And I'm in maybe a different position,
Mhm.
but I would rather spend more and keep it the way it was. Maybe I just don't like change though.
Right, and I'm not huge on change either a lot of times, but there's pros and cons to everything, and to me, yes, it's awesome to be able to, click that order button and get it probably at quite a discounted rate from Amazon online, or even if you order stuff on. I've noticed over the years, if you order something from Walmart.com or Lowe's.com or something like that, a lot of times you'll get better deals online than you will inside the actual
Yeah.
brick and mortar stores.
Well, because of one, you don't have all that overhead.
Right.
So I get that, I guess.
So, but at the end of the day, if especially when you live in a community like us and you need something right away. So, say Joe needs a new suit now. You need to be, maybe somebody, maybe you got a big business meeting or something, and your suit doesn't fit, and you get this meeting out of the blue tomorrow.
Or I have a tear in my elbow
right.
or something.
So
Let's say.
you need something. You need a nice pair of
Right.
shoes, something, a new pair of pants. Obviously, if you don't live in a big town where you're going to get it right away, or you need to try it on, to me, like shoes, pants, they all fit different depending on the
Right.
style.
Right.
And what's the point of ordering it from Amazon and just to get it to say it doesn't fit right? So sometimes you need these brick and mortar stores to go in and look at things up
Right.
close and try them on. And
not to mention, and for you deal with the public all the time.
Mhm.
You talk to people, you have your coworkers, you have all that stuff. But it seems like the younger generation who have grown up
Right.
doing this all the time, it seems they have a harder time talking to people. They have a harder time communicating without texting. And I wonder if this is just going to make things worse. Just little things like this, or ordering a pizza online instead of calling them and saying, "Well, I
Right.
want a pizza. I have this question. What?" I don't know. I don't think it's really. I think it's bad for the communication of the younger people.
You
And
know,
maybe that's just maybe I'm.
no, I agree because they, this is what every generation has its own things that they're used to and accustomed to, and a way of life that they're accustomed to. So this generation now, even the kids, 10 years before them, they've grown up with the phones and the tablets, and
Right.
it's what they know. And it's nothing knocking against them. That's just
No.
the technology that's available to them, and it's the way of life that they're used to. But when you go out to eat at a restaurant and you see a group of kids sitting together, it's not uncommon to see, like Joe's saying, where
They're talking to
they're
each
talking
other.
to each other through text
Right.
messages,
Right
right?
across from each other. So
And
it's
I don't get that because, gosh, when my buddies and I were growing up, I mean, we didn't have that technology, obviously, but we enjoyed being idiots and talking stupid to each other and everything.
Right.
And
you can't do voice impersonations on a
Yeah.
text.
right?
How can you make fun of somebody without?
They
doing
send
it?
GIFs instead, or GIFs, or whatever you say it, and
Yeah.
and they're funny. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, yes.
it's not the same thing. So, but I kind of wonder how this, these kids today sound, and even in a job interview. If you're sitting down across, say Joe's sitting on one end of the table, and I know you don't conduct real formal interviews by any means, but if you're in a, I don't know, say a lawyer's office or something like that, and you're interviewing somebody for an apprenticeship there,
Right.
and you're sitting across from this guy that's got a good education and very prim and proper, and then you got this kid that sir, I don't want to be here before 10:30 in the morning because I stay up till 3 FaceTiming my boyfriend, and give me a break. Thanks for coming. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. So I don't. Yeah, you're right. Technology's cool, but it's taking place of social skills.
Yes.
For these
social.
kids.
That's
So
exactly what I thought too.
I don't know. It's definitely something to be mindful of. A couple more things to talk about before we wrap up here today. Back to the Apple Store for all your problems. Toddler has rendered his parents' iPad usable for 49 years. So if you type in the wrong passcode on an iOS device, part of their security features is that it'll lock you out for X amount of time.
Oh, 49 years.
So if you steal my cell phone and you keep trying to type in guess my passcode, it'll eventually lock you out for. And I've seen this before, where it'll lock you out for some crazy amount of minutes or something like that. So apparently this
is Max. He's been bugging to get up here for a while.
He's been quite whiny trying to get up here. So
Sorry.
Anyway, New York writer discovered that the dangers of allowing his young child to play with his iPad. The toddler entered so many unsuccessful unlock attempts that the tablet cannot be accessed until the year 2068.
It's okay. It's a piece of junk anyway.
Many parents allow their children to play with their iPhone and iPad, but however, Evan Osnos ran into a problem that very few people have to deal with. After retrieving his iPad from his 3-year-old toddler, the device says he can't enter another unlock attempt for 25,536,442 minutes. Osnos isn't the first to have something like this occur. Last year, a Chinese woman was locked out of her iPhone by her child for 47 years. So basically, yeah, it's a bummer. But you can, contrary to popular belief, there is ways to get around it. Obviously, you're not going to wait 49 years. Your device will be very obsolete by then, considering they release a new device every single year.
Yeah.
Just like Android does, so, or Samsung, I should say. You can, obviously, I don't know how the Android works, but like iPhone, my device is set to back up to the iCloud every night while I'm sleeping. That way I don't lose any current information, text messages, notes, email, whatever. So you can always do a restore through your iCloud, through iTunes, or you can take it to your local Apple store, and they've got ways to get around it. So, but that would freak you out. I guess if you don't know any better and you see that your device is useless for 50 years, then that'd be a pretty big bummer, right? So
time for a new device. I saw your notes here, and for that what the hell was that? The vote that we did this morning. The poll that we did this morning.
Are you an Android user or an iPhone user?
It says dark side and good.
So I view this as like a Star Wars thing, right? So the dark side would be, you're kind of like the Darth Vader of the group, and I'd be like the Luke Skywalker.
Alrighty.
So for all you Star Wars nerds out there, we should have talked on that a little bit today. Did you ever watch any of these Star Wars movies? Not your cup of tea?
I'm embarrassed to say I've never seen one Star Wars. No.
People are really passionate about Star Wars. I've seen them all. My mom was a big Star Wars fan, so I grew up kind of liking them and watching them. I wouldn't say I probably was a fanatic when I was a kid, but I wouldn't say.
I did like the old Star Trek TV show.
I never got into Star Trek. My dad and my stepdad both really liked Star Trek, and that's one thing I never got. And it's weird, how can you like one and not the other? But I just never really got into Star Trek. But especially nowadays, you can get on YouTube and find all these fan pages dedicated to everything.
Yeah.
But Star Wars has a really big following.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
I need to watch them.
All these guys have channels with basically anyway. What I was trying to get at is Star Wars released a trailer for a teaser trailer for the episode 9, which comes out this December. So it's basically
more. Wow.
So this will be the 9th movie in this saga, and what they call the saga, and I think they said this has been in the making for 40 years. I mean, the first movie came out 40 years ago, I think.
Really?
And
wow.
Yeah. So, but it's all been based around the whole movie has basically revolved around like the Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, right? So that's father and son. And
so are they in all the movies then?
No. Well.
And Harrison Ford, what did he play? He was
Han Solo.
Okay, and then I heard he showed up for the last one too. He was actually in that movie.
He was in the one that came out a couple years ago, and they finally killed his character off.
Oh, did they? Okay.
So the last movie was it was unique in its way because it was the first time that Harrison Ford, Luke Hamill, and Carrie Fisher had been back on the franchise on the set at the same time.
Oh, Carrie Fisher was on that one then before she passed.
So those three were the ones that had the original trilogy, right back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. That was the big three stars.
Okay.
And then George Lucas, who created Star Wars, he did what they called a prequel trilogy back in the early 2000s that kind of told the stories of leading up to the. It's kind of confusing if you don't understand it, but he released episodes, whatever it was, 3, 4, and 5, I think, first.
Okay.
And then the prequels back in the early 2000s were actually episodes 1, 2, and 3, which told the story of how you got to 3, 4, and 5, or 3, 4, and 5, or something.
Well,
like
I can't believe I missed it.
But anyway, and the newest trilogy to wrap up the whole story arc together is kind of it comes after the last movie that those original 3 were in to kind of tell a more modern view of where they're at now. So. Okay. But anyway, they released a trailer on it, and that's kind of where the dark side thing. I just saw that trailer a couple days ago. I'm like, Joe's part of the dark side.
Oh.
Android. Anyway, got off topic there. Last news story of the day. Florida man got out of jail immediately steals car from the prison parking lot and goes back. And this is the second story we've had out of St. Lucie County in Florida. That must be a hell of a place to live. I can't remember what we
Yeah.
talked about before.
No, it was
Just recently.
Yeah, I remember that story. The fake piss guy.
Fake, yeah, that was weird.
I can't believe I remembered that.
Yeah, why do you remember a story about urine?
I'm not sure, but I'm really proud that I remembered it.
Anyway, Michael Casey Lewis, 37, of Stewart, was arrested Thursday morning by the Port St. Lucie Police Department for grand theft and booked into the St. Lucie County Jail. He bonded out and was released. After being released, deputies in the parking lot of the jail observed Lewis pulling car door handles and learned he had just burglarized several cars right there in the jail parking lot. Lewis was then rebooked into the jail on more burglary charges and released again on a bond of $11,250. Guess nobody was willing to come pick him up.
Huh. Now, if it's a bond at $11,000, that's what they have to come up with, or is that?
It depends there. I mean, like here it would be 10% down.
Right.
I don't know how it works in
And
Florida.
then okay, so if you bond somebody out for $10,000, you give them $1,000, and they come out and then they don't show up, is that person liable?
If they don't show up to their court date,
Yeah,
they would most likely be issued a bench warrant.
but the person that bailed them,
Hmm.
let's say you got in for $10,000, I gave $1,000 bail, you got out and you took off,
Mhm.
and they issue a bench warrant, but would I be liable for the other $9,000?
No, that's going to land on the offender.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you would once you got caught.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, really, he's going to go out there and steal a car from the parking lot where all the cameras are booming down.
That's
down.
awesome.
That's ballsy.
It is ballsy. That's pretty funny.
So anyway, that's our news stories for today. How was your first trip to the Apple Store? Did you enjoy it?
I did like it. Still nobody's here though.
So you've got, well, they haven't opened yet. We've only been here for 47 minutes.
When are they going to open?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right.
We'll go to the pretzel stand and get a warm pretzel. While we're waiting.
Okay, that sounds great.
You know, while we're here, you might as well just get rid of that phone that couldn't handle the fall and get your real phone.
It was a hard fall. It should have been smashed to pieces.
You know, and I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but we've had, like I said, we did have Androids years ago, but we've had iPhones now for, geez, I don't even know. It's been a long time, probably close to 10 years now, I'd say. But I think I can only recall one time where I've ever had a broken screen on my device, and it kills me how many people, you know, when you're out and about in public or wherever, that you see with shattered phone screens.
Mm-hmm.
How careless.
I've
they
never
must
had
be.
one.
I don't know.
Now
my
this
kids
is
are
the
awful,
first time I've ever broke one.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always try to be really careful with my stuff, and
I usually am too. But I'm actually that brick that you made fun of. I ordered another one. It should be in tomorrow, and so once I get the new phone and I get it in that brick, I'll be fine.
it's going to completely defeat the sleek purpose of that
I
phone.
hate these. That is so slippery.
They're very hard to hold. So
yeah,
you know, and that's the thing about the newer phones. Whether it's, you know, you have a Samsung or an iPhone or whatever your cup of tea is, you know, they make these beautiful, slick, shiny phones.
Yeah, that you can't hang on to.
And you kind of hate to cover them up just because they're so neat looking, but
there needs to be
they're hard
grips.
to hold on to.
Why is there not a grip on these?
Because it wouldn't be cool looking.
It would.
So I'm the same way. I've got to put, you know, I don't like to put a case on it just because they look so nice and shiny and clean. But I'm the same way. I can't hold on to it because they're so thin.
Right.
I can't hold on to it. So, and even at that, you know, we've talked about this the other day when you got yours. Is, you know, if you throw it on the couch or a chair or something, it slides right off. They're so slick. So
it even comes out of my pocket in the car.
Right. I've had that happen before too, where if I've not had the case on for some reason and I've had it in my pocket, it slides right out if you're sitting down. So
yeah.
You got to be careful. You spend a lot of money on these things, and apparently, if you you want a new Android, just look up that deal on Google and see where you can get yourself a free 55-inch flat screen TV when you buy your device. So,
wish I'd have done that.
we did.
No, I didn't.
All right, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks for everybody for watching and/or listening, and we will see you all next week.